Okay, it says I'm live. I don't know if I believe it. We'll see. Y'all, I have literally been trying to go live
You're live.
for the past 30 minutes. I don't know what it is, but I am really, really bad at technology. That's just all there is to it. So I went to go live, and then it told me that I needed to have a streaming software now. And so I downloaded streaming software, and then it said link it, and I tried to link it, and it said, yeah, you don't exist. Oh, I can't even. So I'm and I don't know if you guys noticed, my live, the last live that I had scheduled said it was supposed to be at 2:40. I tried to schedule it for 1:00 Central Standard Time. Y'all, I am so bad at technology. It's ridiculous. Hi, Marty. I have soup today instead of coffee because my little carb experiment decided to kind of backfire. And now I have a cold for the first time in nearly 4 years. Fantastically awesome. I didn't feel any better with the carbs. I didn't feel any relief. The only thing I noticed is that my hair didn't fall out as much. Hi, Jennifer. But that also there's so many things. There's so many things. I tried those carbs. My brain just got so gummed up. My brain actually felt a little fuzzy and a little bit numb. I couldn't put words together to create a coherent sentence. I did not have any more energy. I actually was quite a bit more, hi Tanya, quite a bit more emotional. And I don't know if it's the type of carbs. I don't know. My carb experiment was not enjoyable on any level. I just didn't. So yes, I'm just going to stick with veggies. Like I tried the fruit because I have some friends that really love their fruit. I did not love the fruit. It like seriously gummed up my brain. Oh, it's so weird. I didn't like it. I tried the honey and even, local real Wisconsin honey that's not made with corn syrup, bees. Hi, Catherine. Yeah, no, I didn't enjoy it at all. And then I was like way more snappy at the kids. And now this is literally the sickest I have been in 4 years. I got sicker than everyone else in my house. My kids who generally eat fruit on occasion, they didn't get it nearly as bad. Cassidy and I, we're kind of tied, honestly. I think Bella's like right behind us. Richard didn't get it really bad. Noah didn't get it super bad. Josie and Bernie didn't get it super bad. It was an experiment that I did for all of you, so you don't have to do it. Tried black raspberry and your stomach. Oh my gosh, yes. Like the feedback is pretty intense pretty quickly. It is it's no fun. I was really hoping that those carbs were gonna there's so many people in the animal-based group, Paul Saladino's group, who feel so much better doing those carbs. I figured it's worth a try. I mean, why not, right? And I honestly think that's one of our biggest problems in this space right now. There's too many people. There's too many people saying too many things. And anytime anyone says all you have to do is, it kind of makes my hair stand on end. Because so over in my Mighty Network, we seem to have found a lot of people that all you have to do is doesn't work for. Hi, Blaze. I don't know how we ended up with a lot of people that have a lot of metabolic problems and like totally way out there. That one of the ladies in our group, she shares her story all the time. And it's quite the story. She has got so many things going on, including gastroparesis, where if she overeats too much fat without anything else to counter it, her system will literally just like seize up for 24 hours and she can't digest, she can't do anything. We've ended up with some really interesting individuals. I love how different everybody is in our group. And I've got the people who can do, the eat until you're comfortably stuffed and then take a few bites and then be done and you'll be good. You won't gain weight. You won't have any problems. All of your, everything will start moving in the right direction. Y'all, I got a bunch of people in my group that doesn't work for. And I have people in my group that it does work for. Like there's some of them that are like, no, seriously. All you have to do is that and it works. But it worked for them. And then I've got the people in my group who goes, oh yeah, I tried that and it literally nearly killed me. There's a bunch of people who have leptin and ghrelin resistance. And so their bodies don't tell them when they are hormonally full and they keep eating until they're physically full and their stomachs are like bloated and big and everything. Sorry, Richard's in the background doing school. So he's trying to turn the pages as quiet as he can. You're fine, babe. All you have to do is title for a book, right, Marty? I've got both. I've got the people who it works for and the people it doesn't work for. And right now, there seems to be an awful lot of people coming out of the woodwork. Oh, no, that's the way it works for everybody. No, I promise that's not. I think there's actually some people that are getting a little bit, I don't want to say hurt, but they're kind of getting hurt from doing it. Amanda, darn, I'm so sorry. I made Maria Emmerich's lasagna. Oh, I love the lasagna. And it's all me, but with tomato sauce, I ate and was not good on your tummy. Mostly carnivore. Kids loved it, but you can't. I know. Yeah. We thankfully are good to handle the tomatoes. And I think that could be because we went so long without them. We were at least 7 months without tomatoes. And so I think we were able to achieve some gut healing. That does not mean that everyone can do that. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine on my phone, talking about the fact that carnivore can help so much, but there's some things that it is not able to fix in certain people. It kind of depends on how damaged you got, and you might need a little bit of support. And like your gut microbiome can have so much to do with what you inherited from your mom. Because when we're born, and if you have a vaginal delivery, then you get different bacteria, the good ones, that coat you, that get into your system. And so you have a better chance of having a more abundant, diverse microbiome. But if you're taking cesarean section, you don't get the same bugs. And then if your mom was depleted and unhealthy in her microbiome, then she passes that on to you too. So genetics and the inheritance from our mom actually does have something to do with it. I would assume that the dad has something to do with it too, genetically, but I don't actually know. I just know that during birth itself has a lot to do with it. So Bella's going to be different than all my other ones because she was the only cesarean one. Marty says, I love her recipes, but I leave out the tomatoes because high aversion to nightshades. Yeah, do you have anything you replace it with, Marty? Or do you just add the sauces and just leave out the tomato? I would think wouldn't really be much else you could replace that with, huh? Okay, so what are my thoughts on sweeteners like stevia? I think it 100% depends on you and what your goals are and whether or not you are a moderator or an abstainer. Marty says she uses Alfredo. I like it. Very good idea. So the sweeteners, so stevia, we'll just take stevia, for example. Paul Saladino in his book, Carnivore Code, he actually has a section on stevia where they talk about the fact that certain indigenous tribes used it as birth control. Now, I don't know if it's a certain kind of stevia or if it's I'm assuming it's dose-based. But I don't know what the dose is for the stevia to be used as birth control. I just know that tells me that it messes with hormones and things like that. Oh, hello. So there's that. Monk fruit, I have not heard the same type of thing about monk fruit. And I know that it's been used by the monks for literally thousands of years as a sweetener. Um, I I think that that one has probably been my favorite. The erythritol, the allulose, those sugar alcohols, they're still pretty new. So I would say if you're going to use them, I use them. Full disclaimer, I use Truvia in my coffee in the morning, most mornings. I use the allulose when I make the Wonder Bread for the kids or the Hawaiian sweet rolls. I use all of those things. But I'm trying to make sure that I don't start using them in the same quantities that I was using the real bad sugar before we went keto, because I think that too much of anything can be bad. And allulose, nearly all allulose in the United States is made from corn. And corn, we all know, is not a really good food product. So I'd say go ahead and use it if they do not cause you to go down a slippery slope of no return where you're going to start binging on all things sweet. I use them. Richard uses them. I would rather use these sweeteners for my kids than like the honey and things like that. We tried it and they did not respond to it well. They got like super crazy. So it really depends on you as to whether or not you can do it. Yeah, I think I'm going to make Alfredo lasagna. That sounds amazing, Marty. What a good idea. Let me see. Blue Dove. I wish it weren't the case, but it seems like absolutely everything that can bother me does. Nightshades, dairy, nuts, oxalates, histamines. My gosh, you poor thing. So you're like, there's some people that you literally can. Oh, yes, it's a rare sugar, not a sugar alcohol. You're right. But it does come from corn. You're one of those people, it sounds like you can just pretty much eat meat. That's so fantastic. I'm meeting a lot of those people actually. In our group, y'all, it's the end of January and I still have not decided on a name for the February group challenge. And it's funny, it's kind of along the same thing. I am too worried about taking in everybody's opinions and suggestions, and I'm listening to too many people. I've come up with like 17 names for February's challenge group. And I can't decide on a single one of them because I'm trying to keep everybody happy. And I'm trying to like lump it all into one. And oh, the sick tiny human. My poor sick tiny human. Josie's on her phone. So if my internet crashes, I should go sit on Josie. Yeah, I should. You should go get a tissue, sweetheart. So I think for February, I'm going to pick a name that I want, whether it's right or wrong, and I will deal with the consequences. And I want a name that's kind of funny, that brings humor and kind of a lightheartedness to it. Because let's face it, there's a lot going in our world right now. And sometimes people need a laugh. And I could make it all about, name the challenges weight loss challenge or all in challenge or really focus on one thing. But I know a lot of people who are eating this way and it's not for weight loss. It's for health. And I know a lot of people who, if they go all in, that's going to start them in on a binge that they may not be able to come back from. So I'm trying to bring some lightheartedness into everyone's struggle because let's be real, most people are struggling right now, whether it's to stay on plan or if it's just to figure out what they're supposed to do. And I think we need to be able to laugh a little bit with our friends and family, which that even is questionable sometimes. So I think that's what I'm going to do because that's what I'm really starting to see my group as really my friends and family. And I want to be able to laugh with them and be a little bit goofy. And yes, they absolutely learn a lot and they get a lot of content, a lot of education. But yeah, I want us to laugh and have fun. And we'll see. Maybe it'll bite me in the butt. And in a couple of months, I'm going to change it and be like, yeah, I'll just go back to the weight loss challenge. We'll see. I don't know. Erythritol is made from corn too. Yep. We have so much corn. We have to do something with them. That's ridiculous. Feel best on mainly beef. Do add keto hot cocoa. Yeah. And that keeps your oxalates. You're still getting oxalates if you're one of those people that dumps really bad if you go off of them. You did not cheat this month. Good job. That's awesome. Yeah, we've got a day left in the month. That's fantastic. I'm very, very happy. Very, very proud of you. The snow is very slowly dropping off of my roof. And we have a metal roof. So all of a sudden, like these huge sheets of ice and snow will just plummet down. So I've told the kids, do not walk on the sidewalk unless you want to die. It's terrifying and it keeps crashing. I think it's going to take my deck down. It's pretty bad. Add me to the meat only. I can do triple BE with no problem, but I cannot add anything else. Inflammation galore when you add anything at all. I hear so many of those people, like dairy, they cannot do the heavy cream. I know some people will gain like 3 pounds overnight from the heavy cream. It's ridiculous. You can come over here, my sweetheart, if you want to. Oh, go get a tissue. Your nose is running down your face again, baby girl. Go get this cold is ridiculous. It's all in our heads. There's nothing in the chest. There's no fevers. There's no body aches. It's literally just a head cold. So ridiculous. But that's what got me 3.5 years. A head cold is what got me. So funny. Okay. Yes, I've been doing beef, butter, and eggs cooked with ghee and use Redmond seasoned salt. Super simple. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Blue Dove says, how are you feeling emotionally and mentally now? I struggle with depression too. I got a little scared when I tried that little carb experiment, when I brought those carbs back in. No, I started every day. Richard and I would get into an argument about the stupidest stuff. And he's just like, what is going on? Why are you so upset? And I would just break down crying. Like I was sitting here in my chair, my bedroom door is right there. And he walked out of the bedroom and he just made some random comment and I started bawling. Nope, I'm not okay with that. Not even a little bit. And I've heard some people say, oh, well, you have to, there's an adaptation period to going back to carbs, just like there is when you're going away from carbs. You have to do the adaptation period. And I don't think I can do that because when I was adapting to keto carnivore, my mental clarity and everything got better almost immediately. Yes, I felt run down. I felt tired. I wasn't getting enough electrolytes. So I kind of felt the flu, but my mind was calming down. Whereas when I did the carbs, it was just fruit and honey, good quality honey and fruit, all organic fruit. And it wasn't much. I think I had 1 piece of fruit a day. That was it. My mind got angrier and it was getting more ramped up, not coming down. So I made a comment. There's one other gal that was trying to go on to more carbs. She's got so many issues and her doctor told her, you're going to kill yourself if you stay in ketosis. So you have to include 150 grams of carbs every single day. So she tried and her mental capacity, the same thing, the emotional stress, the strain was the same. And her doctor's like, you're going to keep losing muscle. You have to go back to carbs. She was like, I would rather keep my mind and lose my muscle, which I could potentially, work out and get back if I can get into ketosis and get my body to play nice, than lose my mind. And I'm kind of the same way. I would rather lose my hair than lose my mind. And the hair could totally be because we had COVID and everyone loses their hair after that. Or it could be because of the stress of moving and doing all the things that we've done starting up a farm. Or it could be genetics. It could be because I was under eating protein and it takes a long time for that to catch up with you, and it just caught up with me. Y'all, so many things. I don't want to assume that my way of eating is what's causing hair loss, because usually the way that you're eating at the time that you notice a symptom, it's not actually the problem. It's what you were doing before that. Like, what was the standard American diet that was causing hair loss? Just that my hair was so much longer that I didn't notice it. Like, I noticed it, but I kind of like pretended that it wasn't there. It's like, no, I still have lots of hair. It's down to the middle of my back. I have so much hair. But yeah, no, there's so many people in this space, and they're all talking and they're all saying all you got to do is. And for some people, it totally works. Like, it works to just do that one thing. But I seem to be finding an awful lot of people that got to go to the next step, and they got to take the next step, and then they got to do something else, and then they got to tweak something. And we've ended up with a lot of people in our group. And I've talked to a lot of people recently that are doing carnivore, all in carnivore, and they get their blood drawn and their protein levels are low. And you're like, that literally makes no sense. All I eat is protein and fat. And a lot of these people are even like 1-to-1. So they should have really good protein levels. But what's happening is that they have leaky gut, they have bad absorption, they have all these other problems. Sometimes they have candida or H. pylori. They have other bugs that are messing with them, and no amount of meat is going to be able to fix it, because they have to support their body in other ways. I mean, it took us decades to get sick. I would love to tell you that 3 years of eating this way fixed every single problem of mine, besides the stupid cold, which was all my fault. So I kind of got what I deserved. Okay, let me see. Can you speak about oxalate dumping? This is something that lasts a very long time. Usually, the consensus that I have seen is that it lasts for about 10 years. Goes in cycles. It gets really bad, and then it's not so bad. And then it'll go back up again, years 3 to 5, and then it's not so bad. And it kind of cycles up and down until you get rid of everything. There's a lot that depends on that. I hope she's not too loud. There's a lot that depends on that. Are you a person that can handle higher oxalates, or you can't really handle many at all? Does your body produce too many oxalates on its own, that it's causing you all of these extra problems? So even if you were to go on a completely oxalate-free diet, it wouldn't matter. Your body's still being overloaded with oxalates because you're making too many of your own. And then there's so many things that go into it. But when you oxalate dump, it can happen in probably 100 different ways. It can be hair thinning, little crystals coming out of your hair. It can be styes in your eyes and the crusties on your eyes in the morning. It can be the little white bumps you get inside your lips. Sometimes like you'll get that little hard nub. That can be oxalates. It'll come out of your gums. It can come out of your salivary glands. Vanessa Spina, her face swells up because the oxalates are pushing out of her salivary glands. You can get them coming out of your skin in little crystals. You can get them in your joints, and you will have a gout attack. So everyone says, well, once you go carnivore and keto, you won't have any more gout attacks. They stop. But a lot of people end up with a gout attack right after they go carnivore, especially, or low oxalate keto. It's not the carnivore or the keto that caused it. It's the oxalate dumping that caused it. So that's why you end up having a gout attack, because the oxalates are pushing out. It's pushing them out through your joints, and they're building up, and then you get that really bad gout attack. It can be kidney stones, where you were fine before, but then all of a sudden you're starting to pass all these kidney stones. They came out of nowhere. There's so many different. Some people get them coming out of the bottom of their feet, like those little white hard nubs on the bottom of your feet. They'll literally be pushing out. It's an oxalate. There's so many things that it could be. But But for most people, plan on it taking about 10 years. That's why a lot of people keep a little bit of oxalates in, like the chocolate element that I've been keeping in. That seems to actually reduce my symptoms, joint pain, things like that. Because I'm still keeping a little bit of oxalates coming in, my body has to deal with those, so it's not overloading my system with dumping everything all at once. So that everyone, again, I know some people who thrive on a high oxalate diet and their blood markers are beautiful. They do not show anywhere that they have a problem. So we're all just, there's so much to consider. It's so crazy. I'm so glad you're listening to your mind and body. I can't sacrifice my stability and clarity either. People want easy works for everyone answers, but it's just not that simple. Yes. And I love so many of these other influencers and some of these other people that are saying all you have to do is. I respect them and I love them. But that's kind of why I'm here, because I'm here to catch the people that say, it didn't work for me. Now what? I'm like, come on over, join our club, come be part of, our little community of misfits, I guess, because it didn't work for us. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us. It means that there's a lot more to this than we thought. And some people are blessed enough to just eat meat and get better. Then there's the ones that can just eat as much as they want and get better. And then there's the ones that maybe can't eat quite as much as they want to be able to get better. And then there's the other ones that we have to add quite a bit more stuff in. So yeah, I'm going to have, do y'all remember the aisle of misfit toys on, was that Rudolph? That really old Rudolph clay animation one. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be the aisle of misfit toys. I'm okay with that. If one thing worked for everyone, the diet industry would be out of business. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't need to be, because if one thing worked for everybody, we would be golden. Seem to be having a bursitis flare up after eating more nuts and cheese over the holidays. Nuts and me, oh my gosh, I can't even. So nuts, I have to be an abstainer. 100%, I have to be an abstainer because I will overdo it on those nuts. 100%. And then my body will react very, very, very poorly. So even though I love them, I cannot have them in any form or fashion. Those are one of the main things that I will abstain from probably forever, because yeah, it's bad. It's very, very bad. All unique individuals. Yes, we are. Yeah, come join me on the special bus. I love you. Yes, because it doesn't work for everyone. The Island of Misfit Toys. I hear that song and I always used to sing along with it when I was a little kid. It was like, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. But since it took me 30 minutes to go live, I'm sorry, because I have another Zoom call at 3 that I have to get off and do. So I'm going to try again next week on Saturday, not Sunday, because I had to drive. I was in the car for 14 hours yesterday, which is why I didn't go live. So I'm going to try to do it on Saturday around 1 o'clock Central Time. That is my goal. If I put something else in YouTube and it says some other time, it's because YouTube bested me again. And I may not even schedule them, because when I tried to start it, that's when it told me I had to have a whole streaming service. And so I got a streaming service and then I couldn't link it. So I may not even schedule it. I'm just going to get on Saturday at 1 o'clock and be like, hi, y'all. I give it up. Yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for hopping on with us and listening to Bella play in the background. And hopefully I'll be better in a week. So we'll catch up with you guys next week. Have a fantastic week and congratulations on staying on course. We'll see how y'all are doing in 6 days. Bye, guys.